Everybody goes to India when they have cancer. I've never seen somebody with stomach cancer who has survived. The only stories I'm hearing is my sister had it, she died. She went for surgery, she didn't make it.
Or now he removes the surgery.
No, this is a different doctor.
Now this different doctor does not begin with surgery.
Yes,
he goes to
chemo. Yes. So I'm like, I've never done chemo, and I hear chemo is very harsh. So I didn't. By that time, I was so sick. I couldn't even ask questions.
And say yes.
Yes. So the doctor tells me if you do chemo, 4 sessions, aggressive ones, by December you're done with your chemo. Then by January you do your surgery, you do another 4 sessions after that. By March you'll be well. So I'm looking like, oh God, there's hope. So I'm ready for the chemo, like if you tell me I go today, I'll start it. So the doctor tells me, that same day I had to go and see the doctor, the one to put for me the chemo pot. And the next day I had been put for the chemo pot. It was like on Monday. Wednesday I will put for chemo pot. Thursday I'm starting chemo.
So speedy.
Yes.
And all through no psychological counseling?
No. So I start chemo, and the first day I start chemo, like, this is something new, I've never done it. I went there, I couldn't even eat. But I was so shocked, when they bring for you cakes, and I'm wondering, should I eat cake? Should I take sugar? And I'm having cancer. So I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what to eat, what not to eat. And they don't tell you what to eat and what not to eat. You just go there and they tell you, this is what you're going to do for you. And then they take you to that room. And remember that time now, I'm so sick that I'm on a wheelchair.
Yes.
So I can't even talk for long because I don't have the strength.
You are not inpatient?
No, I was outpatient still, but I would be driven there. I go, they take me to the place for doing chemo. I start my first day for chemo. I got sick. That's the time I felt so useless, so wasted. Because when I came back after that chemo, I was not able to take water. Now, leave alone the one that you could even just try. And sip a bit. Now I could not have the taste of water. I couldn't drink water. I couldn't now take my yogurt. I was vomiting like throughout.
Yeah.
So I remember that day now when I woke up in the morning, I asked them, is this how it feels to go through this chemo thing? Then they told me, I was taken back to the hospital because I was so sick. I was sweating, I was vomiting, I couldn't eat. The pain was too much. Nothing even changed. It grew from worse to worse. So when I was taken to the hospital, they gave me an injection. And now, because you see, when I was doing my chemo, there was a pump that I used to come with it home. I was to stay with it for, was it 12 hours? Because I remember I had to sleep with it and then go back with it the following day to be removed. So I stayed with that, the pot, the other one that the pump.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went back to the hospital, I was in that pump. At the same time, they had to minister to me some medication. And I'm still not eating. My stomach.
On fluids.
I'm on fluids, yes. So I went through the 4 sessions of chemo. And
The further you went, was it getting better or?
I was still sick, but at least now I was able to eat solid, semi-solid foods. Sometimes liquid. Now I could retain with the painkillers. Now I had moved from tramadol to morphine. But then I realized morphine was not working for me well because I couldn't go to the toilet.
Yeah, it causes constipation.
Constipation. So I woke up one day and I said, I'm not taking. Yeah, so I took it back to the doctor. And now I was left with Tramadol and tramadol. And remember that is now the time for COVID 2020. And sometimes I would be sick and I couldn't go to the hospital because of curfew. Yeah, so I had a friend, I thank God for friends, who learned how to inject me. So
Is she a medical?
No.
Just learned?
She just learned how to do it because sometimes I would get so sick and it's in the middle of the night. And I can't go to the hospital because of curfew. And maybe sometimes I can't, because from Rongai you can't drive to Mpisha. And sometimes you go there, the doctor is not there. So we had to look for a solution. So we just saw the way the doctor used to do it, and she would inject me.
What?
Yes. So I finished my chemo, but I was sick. I'm going to do my PET scan. So I go do my PET scan, and I'm ready now to do the surgery, my last chemo, and I'm done. I go to Aga Khan, and the doctor tells me, there's nothing I can do.
I mean,
there's nothing now you can do. You go back to your doctor. This is too much. I can't.
But you've gone for a PET scan.
The PET scan now has shown that the cancer has moved from stage 3 to stage 4.
When doing chemo?
Yes. And now that time it was in the lungs, the liver, the adjusted lymph nodes. They were there previously, but now it may extend. It has extended.
Wow.
Yeah, so for me, that time I had already made up my mind. I was fed up with chemo. I said, I'm not going back for chemo. So when the doctor told me, thank God for that doctor. I always say that because it was a blessing in disguise. When the doctor told me there's nothing they can do, I felt I'm already dead.
Oh.
Yeah. So, a dead body, what is it now left of me?
To go back to the doctor?
Yes. So when he told me to go back to the doctor, I just went as a formality. But already I had said I'm not doing chemo. And you say, I had put my hope on doctors, but I failed. So I said, after all, I'm dying. What is there to be? What is left of me? I stopped taking medicine.
Even painkillers?
Yes.
Are you still in pain?
I'm still in pain.
And you're not taking medicine?
I'm not taking medicine. I'm dying. What am I supposed to do? Why should I bother people when I'm dying?
Financially,
yes.
Emotionally.
Yes. So I go back to my oncologist and he tells me, Jackie, you have to do the chemo again. If you don't do the chemo, you won't make it in 2 months' time. I said, fine, well and good, I'm dying.
But he said chemo will stop it from going to stage.
And that is what I said. I said, if you told me that chemo is the one that is going to suppress it and it didn't work, why would I do it again? Why would I do it again? So I told the doctor, I'm not doing the chemo. If it's death, let me die peacefully. So I left and I went back home and I took the medicine back. I left the meds. I said I'm not taking medicine. I was in pain. I was in terrible pain. So I remember when I was sick, there's this lady who used to inject me used to come and tell me, Jackie, there's an alternative treatment. Maybe you can try and we can take you there. Then I was like, I used to ask, Have you seen somebody who has survived
From stomach cancer
cancer?
stage.
Yes, stage 4. And then you see, sometimes people can tell you things, but they don't understand your pain.
No, they can't.
Yeah. So I said, anyway, I'm dying. Let me go and see what this doctor can do. So she comes, she picks me, we go there. I remember that day even I was so sick, she carried me to her
Is
car.
it another hospital now?
Yes, it's another hospital. So we went there. I couldn't walk. But still, to the end up, we went. And then she tells me, okay, the guy sees me and tells me that so long as you can swallow, you will survive. I'm asking myself stage 4. But deep down in my heart, I used to tell myself, I'm not dying. I'm not dying. I'm not dying. So we do that test, and then it tells me I have to start on... okay, first, what he told me that, do you know what chemo has done to your life? I said, I don't know. Because I was not even bothered to know what I was doing. I didn't even know what medicine I was doing. I only knew that the medicine took off my hair and I was left bald.
It took off your muscles.
And took off, yes, and my appetite. So I didn't know much. So it tells me, do you know that chemo, what you did has killed all the cells. So what we need to do is to start by restoring the cells, the good cells that you have lost. And then once we have restored the good cells, then you are good to go. I'm saying, fine, whatever you do. So now I start alternative treatment. I start by supplements, diet.
This a hospital, it's a natural treatment facility.
It's called wellness.
Oh, it's wellness.
Yes.
Okay.
So I start supplement. I change my diet. And that time now I've lost kilos from 90 kilos to 56 kilos. That is what chemo did to me. So 56 kilos, I can't even imagine how I'm going to gain even back to 60 kilos.
Yeah.
So we started now the natural therapy. I started now. When I started, it wasn't easy. It was not that easy journey. Now instead of painkiller, I had to do the CBD oil. I rub it in the stomach. I take a bit of it. And as time goes by, the pain started subsiding. And I continued with the supplements, with the diet. Now I was getting strength. I could walk alone. I could now eat. I started now eating real solid food. Now
Pain has, how long did it?
Pain is still there. It didn't take it took almost 6 months. I was still having the pain. Now I start eating the solid food. I start growing. I'm stronger, and yeah, things are now working. But it did not work like pap. It took time. I almost even gave up on this because the pain was still there. Some occasions I would still be taken back to the hospital and be given the injection, because sometimes I would just find myself, I can't bear it anymore. But the good thing, one night I woke up and I didn't have the pain.
Wow.
And that is how, up to today, I've never felt the pain.
Wow.
So I go back for the test again to check, and here I am. No cancer.
Oh, every single thing restored back to the normal form.
Yes.
Even the stomach had no trace.
Yes.
Somebody might imagine it was not well diagnosed anyway.
It was. You should see the pain I went through. My God. Do you know, when I was being told first, when the doctor told me to do the surgery at the initial stage, they thought it was stage 1 or 2. But then the pain was too much, because normally they say when you have cancer stage 1 or 2,
There is no pain. Yeah, sure, there is no
But
pain.
my pain was too much. It was on the high levels. Yeah.
Wow. So when did you, after taking the wellness medication, how long did you take before you go to check again to find that there is no cancer?
I think I took like 6 months or 6 months.
Then
I
you
went
did a
back.
PET scan.
Yes, then I went back for PET scan, and poop.
The same doctor who did the PET scan
Yes.
months ago.
Yes.
What was his reaction?
He said I go back and do CT scan because maybe they're not sure. Yes.
Did you do the CT scan?
I went back to CT scan. Then they told me to do MRI. I went back to MRI. They told me to go back to CT scan.
No, everybody is shocked.
Yes.
How can it happen? And up to date your health. So if you could go back to the health sector and try to pin out things that the health sector can learn and do it different, what things will you pick?
I think we should maybe try alternative.
Try alternative medicine.
Yeah, because if chemo is not working, why are they using chemo? That's the only question I used to ask myself. If chemo does chemo really work?
I don't know, we'll get an oncologist on set to help us
Yes,
understand
because
chemo.
For me, chemo did not work for me. But I will not talk about that because I'm not a doctor. I'm just a common man, yes. So, and another thing, they don't tell you what are the side effects of chemo. And I would want to ask the oncologist, do they ever test the chemo drugs, whether there are people who react on it different way? Because like we know that sulfur, not everybody reacts with sulfur. Not everybody reacts with penicillin.
Yeah.
But do they test the patients before they do the chemo drugs to know whether you will react with the chemo drugs?
I believe so. The Pharmacy and Poisons Board, I believe before a drug is released to the healthcare for usage, it's tested.
But it's not tested whether it reacts with other patients. I don't think so, because if it was tested, I'm just talking from a layman's language.
Yes, that's why we're here.
Yeah. Why would I do chemo and move from stage 3 to stage 4?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, that's a question that needs to be responded.
Yeah, why would I do chemo and move from stage 3 to stage 4? Another thing, always for those people who have gone through chemo, when you are doing that chemo drug, that time when you are in that, when they're doing for you the treatment, the pain in the stomach or in the one you feel, it's like acidic level, it's gone too much.
It's like they're burning the stomach.
When the medicine is being put into your body, you feel like there's something that is just doing like this in your stomach. Then all of a sudden, the way the medicine is entering, that's how it erodes your stomach. Yes.
Hear that?
Yes, and you leave that place, your fingers are numb. You can't feel your hands. I touched what I thought I was frozen. And these are things that they don't even tell you. After chemo, this is what is going to happen to you. They only tell you, oh, you lose your hair, you would feel, what was I told? In fact, I was just told about the hair. And then I was told, oh, there's another medicine that they can put so that you don't lose your hair. I still lost my hair. I lost my hair. And women with their hair. I lost my hair. I lost the feeling I felt so numb for quite a long period of time. I would vomit despite they would give me the medicine to try and yes, I would vomit even when walking on the road.
Yeah.
Wow. And it didn't even go like sometime after chemo. It took me a whole year. I was still going through the symptoms.
Really?
Yes. I still would walk, and sometimes I just feel like vomiting, and I would vomit on the road. So I used to walk with my paper bag in the car. I would carry a bucket, because anytime it would come.
Not because the tummy is sick or unwell, but because it just erupts.
Yes.
Wow. So if we're in the health sector, we've been posed questions like, do we test the chemo? Does it really work? Pharmacists will help us here, oncologists will help us here, and we'll try to get them on board. However, this is Jackie's story.
Yes.
This is her story. Do not copy her life. Do not copy her story. Get your own personal story, but we can do learnings from her. Try to get enlightened on what to do in case you've been diagnosed with cancer. But for her, it's a testimony that she got totally and fully healed from stage 4 cancer. So if today you were to sit down with the CS Health, and they ask you one very question, as a common man, the way you've called yourself, what areas in healthcare will you desire to see them improved?
I think when it comes to cancer treatment, we need to maybe try other avenues. As much as, this is what doctors have learned, and that is what they'll give us. But there are other people outside there who are working with other things that are working. So as much as
testimony.
And there's God. In all these things, there's God.
Yes.
So for me, maybe mine is a miracle, because maybe there are people who also went through what I did, but they didn't make it. But for me, all I can say, it is God. Yeah.
So you will tell the CS to also accommodate other medicine.
Yes.
To see what works or what doesn't work.
Yeah.
Wow. And that is Jackie's story, and I know most of the cancer patients in the country, in the region, all of us are running to other countries, all of us are seeking treatment, but again, sit down and reflect. This cancer, what is it all about? That's why we leave it for today. Until the next time, have a blessed week ahead.